Okay, guys. Hey, it's Pam, and it is 8:30 workshop time. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, I'm Pam, and I am here with you to talk about how busy moms can spot harmful chemicals and protect their family's health ASAP. So you're about to get my simple method for choosing products that are safer for your family and the planet. Plus, you're going to learn 3 swaps that you can make today. So who's excited for that? Who's ready to learn an easy way to pick products that are safer for your family? I am. Okay. All right. So if you're here, you are likely concerned about the health of your family today, the health of the planet tomorrow. So you may be struggling with things like you don't know what's in the stuff that you buy or bring into your home and what might be bad or harmful to your family. You don't know where to start to make changes. You don't know where to look for advice or what information to trust, like what's valid. And you don't have time to research and figure it all out yourself. But by the end of this workshop, you are going to walk away with more clarity about specifically what to look for when making choices, more confidence in knowing what makes a better choice, relief that you finally have a plan and a roadmap for kind of going forward and making healthier choices, and then 3 specific changes that you can make today that are better for your family and the planet. So I struggled with those exact same things, but I want to share what I have been able to do with my family. So here's a couple of pictures. The photo in the middle is my family a while ago. I have now 3 actually teenagers, 16, 18, and 19. And so now my son is like way taller than my husband and I. So that's a while ago. But anyway, we have been able to sort of transform the way we live in many areas of our life, but without changing our lifestyle. So it honestly has probably taken me like 6+ years of like trial and error to figure out A, what to do, and then B, figure out what would actually work with our family. Because that's a really big, important piece of kind of making healthier choices and, that are healthier for not only your family, but also the planet. So now I'm able to look back and share some of it with you today so that you can sort of fast forward through those 6+ years when it comes to living healthier. So I want to share with you some of what I have learned today. Okay, before we jump into all of that, I do want to make sort of a disclaimer, I guess, that, I'm not guaranteeing results. I'm not claiming to be an expert or a chemist. I'm just sharing with you what's worked for me and my family. And I have, like I said, spent a fair number of years really putting my head down and focusing and trying to figure things out, whether it's a trusted resource or, figuring out what would work for my family that was easy to do, but also healthier. In any case, I have spent a lot of time focusing on this. So, and my goal in all of that was kind of to just do the best that I can to keep my family and the planet healthy in the choices that I make and the way that we live. But we are not perfect. Regular family, I wear a lot of hats, probably like you do too. And sometimes I do have to go with what's easiest in the moment. So I'm not perfect. So if you can kind of relate to that sort of balance and that goal, then you're in the right place. I want to make sure this next 30, 25, 30 minutes is, where you want to be, where you want to spend maybe some of your free time. I also want to mention that what we're going to talk about tonight is sort of let me move me out of the way. There we go. Like the tip of the iceberg. This is just sort of one teeny thing that I have kind of worked on and been able to figure out. And that later on in today's workshop, I'll share with you some other ways that I can also help you. Okay, so we got that out of the way, but I do want to say that when it comes to choosing safer products, most people want to know like what to do, what are the products I should pick instead. And I'm going to obviously share that with you, but you may have some sort of beliefs or things that are, kind of in your mindset that keep you from choosing products that actually really are healthier. So you can make a lot of changes even by just stopping doing those things or shifting beliefs, um, to help you have a better chance of actually really getting what you want, which is protecting your family's health. So, like me and many other people, you may have been led to believe that I can switch the slide there. Hold on. There we go. But just because it's on the shelf and looks safe, it means it must be safe for your family or the planet. We sort of think, oh, okay, it's there. I can grab that cleaner. I'm good without any worries. But if you take a closer look at many of the products, you'll find that that's really not true, right? Because it's kind of like eating healthier, or like having a healthier diet, and choosing your products that are safer for your family is a lot like that. When you want to eat healthier, first you sort of learn about the ingredients that are better for your health, what to avoid, and then you can start to make some more informed choices for what foods you want to choose that are going to help you get to your goal of eating healthier. And this is exactly the same solution for choosing products that are safer for your family as well. And that is what we're going to talk about today. So if you're sort of in that cycle of, I don't know what to choose, I'm worried about, what chemicals might be in cleaning products that I'm using, but I don't know what to do. So you might be experiencing things again, like you don't know what chemicals to look out for, like specifically that could be harmful to your family and the planet. And you don't know kind of where to start. Like where do you look? You don't know who to trust for advice, what resources, and you don't have time to figure it all out yourself, right? And like I said, you could be already doing some things that are kind of adding to the problem of not getting to that like place of, I know what to choose and now I can choose it. So you might be making choices on choosing healthier, safer products by relying on what looks safe for your family. You might be relying on like word of mouth recommendations, or maybe what you saw scrolling on social media that week, or what came up in a Google search. And maybe you are spending time trying to research, but the time you do spend, it's unfocused. It's kind of like when you have a free moment and it comes into your mind, and like maybe you're in the carpool line and you start Googling it on your phone. That's what I used to do. Just trying to like, oh, I know I need some more of X, and let me see what's more eco-friendly, what's safer, what's non-toxic. And so it was very unfocused. And so it sort of left me still not really knowing. I don't know if any of those sound familiar, if they resonate with you. But what if you could fix all this? What if you weren't making these mistakes and you didn't have those problems? Well, let me show you how you can do that today. So before we get really, really started, I want to share that looking out for harmful chemicals is sort of just one small piece of the bigger picture to keeping your family and the planet healthy, like choosing products that can help you do that. And not to overwhelm you, but just that there is sort of a bigger picture. And like I mentioned, toxins and harmful chemicals is just sort of one piece of it. So that I also don't kind of overwhelm you with information and, kind of things to add to your to-do list today. And since there are harmful chemicals in so many items that we use and bring into our home, and honestly, so many opportunities to choose different products that reduce your exposure to those, I want to focus in on one really specific idea today and one specific part of this today. And that's with products that you likely use every day, probably multiple times a day, and that is cleaning products. So we're going to talk about how to choose safer cleaning products. products today. Okay, so I'm going to start with step one. Let me move myself out of the way again. Okay, there. Okay, so the first step is to know your way around the label on a cleaning product. And once, we're done with the workshop and the next time you grab your cleaning product, you can kind of look for these. But if you get familiar with the label, then you'll understand, most of what you're looking at, and then you'll be one step closer to making a healthier choice. If you don't understand the label and what to look out for, then you may be, again, exposing your family to harmful chemicals without knowing it. And unfortunately, if you just trust what's on the shelf or guess what's healthy, rely on the packaging and the marketing, you can't really be sure it's safe. So these are a couple of things that are probably on most labels, not all, but you'll see like usage directions, how to use this product, caution warnings. I think most every cleaner has a caution warning, at least maybe that's on the shelf in the store, or if you don't, actually, I'm not sure if they all do, but many that I have looked at all have some sort of caution. And then storage and disposal instructions, they may tell you how to, most of them probably say keep away from children, and that kind of stuff. So those are sort of the basic kind of, level one things on a label, just to sort of be aware of. Okay. And then what I want to focus more on today is, is this set of things on the label, which include the ingredients. Okay. And that's going to be like a list of scientific names that you probably can't pronounce, that are in the product. However, manufacturers, and this is in the US, are not required to list all the ingredients on their label. So that's really helpful. You can typically go to the manufacturer's website and see a detailed list of information, but they're not required to put it on the actual label of the product. So, but there are some known chemicals, because they have known risks to avoid. They're sort of like the big 8, and actually ammonia should be on its own little bullet point, but this is a list to typically be on the lookout for and to avoid, because they have known health risks, like that are either immediate, or some long-term effects as well. So these are known to have some health risks and environmental risks, because lots of our cleaners actually go down the drain. And while many chemicals can be cleaned from, water sources through the water treatment process, not all of them. So so those are the cleaners to sort of be on the lookout for. Again, they're not required to list them all, so it can be a little bit tricky to actually know, right? So, but by knowing what to be on the lookout for in general, you can start to have a little bit of a sense for what's safer. So, okay. And the other thing on a label that I want to point out to be on the lookout for are like what I like to call marketing, like buzzwords. And those are things like biodegradable, non-toxic, organic, and those terms are not regulated. So they could mean something and they could mean nothing. So again, not super helpful, but I did want to kind of get you a little bit more familiar with the label on a cleaning product. And kind of most important takeaway is that you can't really take what's on the label with a grain of salt. Like, it's not going to give you everything you need to know, but I have a couple more steps. But it is important to be familiar with the label so that you know I need to be on the lookout for these things. So that's some basic info. And again, this is just like trying to eat a healthier diet. You learn how to read the nutrition labels. You learn what's better for you, what to avoid, and then you can make informed choices. Okay, so that is step 1. Okay, so step 2 is to refer to an expert resource. Okay, and so if you use kind of like the data and findings of research as a guide, to making your choices, then you can kind of go one step further beyond like the label that is kind of helpful, but not really. And you sort of feel kind of an added layer of confidence that the products that you choose, after referring to an expert resource, are in fact safer for your family. And if you don't kind of consult at, what I like to call an expert source, then you still really aren't sure. If you rely just on the label, it gives you some information, but it's not, 100% trustworthy, I guess, or it doesn't give you the full picture of what really is that cleaner is all about. And, if you look at a source that isn't kind of backed by research, or, is just making claims, and it's hard to know if it's reputable, if those facts are really accurate. So, one resource that I really like to use as a guide is from the Environmental Working Group, and it's their Guide to Healthy Cleaning. They have a website, they have an app, which I'll talk about in a second, but they look at the labels, they look at the product websites that I mentioned, so where ingredient disclosure documents are, so they can actually see, okay, this is actually what's in the product. The label may say some of it, but not all of it. And so the product website will have, they look at the actual list of ingredients, they look at material safety data sheets, and they rate each ingredient by a level of concern. So, and then they kind of give the product an overall grade based on how each sort of, level, each criteria gets graded. They also include any environmental concerns based on the ingredients, which is really important to me. Again, I'm looking to keep my family healthy, but also kind of, the planet now and for the future as well. So the Environmental Working Group is a great guide. You can search for specific products. You can go into the Healthy Cleaning database, and you can look by type of cleaner. It can be kitchen, bathroom. It's a really great database that's set up in a really user-friendly way. So it's really easy to find either specific product. Not every cleaning product under the sun is in the database, but they have a pretty extensive database worth of cleaning products that you can check out. So the other thing that's really cool is they have move me out of the way, an app that you can use, on your phone, which comes in super handy when you're standing in the cleaning aisle wondering, ooh, I can't remember, what I bought last time, or what I figured out was already kind of safe. And so you can search by product. They have different databases, not just cleaners. So you can see here, they have sunscreens, food, personal care. And then the really cool thing is that you can use a barcode scanner that's in the app to scan like a product. And then if it's in their database, it'll come up and you can see how it's rated. So one day, as soon as I learned about this app, I spent like 30 minutes in the aisle at Target, in the cleaner aisle, just like scanning different cleaners to sort of play with it and see. And so it actually, really works. Again, not every single cleaner is in the database, but quite a few are. So that is super handy. So, okay. And then there's another resource that I actually love using as well as sort of a second kind of tier, and that is the EPA's Safer Choice database. There isn't an app or anything, and they don't sort of grade products. It sort of they have sort of their safer standards, and if a product meets those standards, then they go into the database. So it just evaluates cleaners against their standard, and if a product meets it, they're in the database. Not like, Environmental Working Group goes like A through F, so you can see how, if a product rates poorly. But anyway, but you can search the database. You can search by the name of a product, or you can search by type of cleaner. So that is another great resource as well. So I think referring to kind of expert sources is for me, it's like, again, back to the eating healthy kind of analogy. It's like consulting with like, you know, if you have an extreme case, like a nutritionist or your doctor, about your diet and food to make sure that the information is trustworthy and accurate, that it's going to be, if I use it, it's going to get me where I want to go. And so that's how I kind of like to look at kind of the step of referring to an expert source. So those are two great resources that I use as guides to help me decide what cleaners I want to use. Okay, so that's step 1 and 2. And then step 3 is to create a list of go-to cleaners. Now, creating a list of go-to cleaners is going to sort of streamline this whole process of being able to always make safer choices and to put the decisions on autopilot. If you don't create a list beforehand that you can use on autopilot, you're going to kind of constantly over and over be making choices. You're going to be going through this sort of whole process over and over, or you're just going to grab what you used to use because you're not sure what's safer and you don't have a go-to. So, you're going to kind of constantly be in that, oh, I don't know, unless you kind of go through the process and then you just have your list of these are my go-tos. So unfortunately, you, at least this is for me, you might think that just sort of memorizing your list will work, but if you have it written down like in your phone, or maybe you even put it on like a subscription, like if you use Amazon, I know there's other online resources that have subscription service. So once you figure out your go-to list, maybe you just put it on like subscription, or you tell Alexa, I need to order, here's my list or whatever. But my point is, if you try to commit it to memory, sometimes you might just end up like picking up the thing you used to use, which isn't as safe. And, obviously one time is not going to make or break it. But if your goal is to choose healthier products, I have to write it down somewhere. And what I mean by go-to list is one that is rated, kind of high for safety, like by your trusted source, and it's customizable. So meaning you can, it fits in your budget. It's the type of cleaners that you like to use in certain rooms and things like that. Maybe you like certain scents. Although I will say products that have fragrances typically tend to have more harmful chemicals in them, but there are many, many on the market now that actually have nice scents as well. So you can customize it, and to your budget, to what you typically like. And for me, this is a really, really big one, is that it's convenient to get a hold of. So it's either easy to purchase in stores that you usually go to, like you don't have to make special trips for it, or it's at places that you normally shop at online. So convenience is huge. So that's what I mean by a go-to list of safe cleaners. So I, on that note, want to share with you my list, my go-to list of safe kitchen cleaners. And I created it based on ratings from the Environmental Working Group as a guide, and plus what was easy for me to shop for. Probably price-wise, they're all in sort of the same budget for now. And so I will share with you the link to this. It's actually a website, a web page on my blog site. And so I am going to give you, this actually has 3 options for surface cleaners. And once you're on the page, this is a link to the Environmental Working Group site, so you can read more specifically about it. This shows you the rating, and then these are all available, on Amazon. So I just included a link there in case that's where you like to shop. So the page actually has a list, 3 options for surface cleaners, 3 options for dish, hand washing soap, and 3 options for dishwasher soap. So you'll get nine, nine swaps you can make. So 3 different categories, 3 options each, and they are all, I think, at least A or B rated. Yeah, because again, when I throw that easy to buy criteria in there, it sort of, adds a little twist to things. So in any case, these are all easy to find, and so I wanted to share that with you. So you have a go-to list for your kitchen cleaners. So these are safe. So hopefully that is really helpful for you. And again, I will give the link to that page. Okay, so those are the 3 steps to choosing safer cleaning products for your family and the planet. So I'm curious, how many of you think that you can do what I just, in the last 10 minutes or so covered today? Not that you will or you won't, but that you can, that those make sense. And those steps are pretty simple, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. It's 3 steps. 1, get familiar with the labels. 2, consult an expert source. And then 3, create a go-to list. So, you've got kitchen. So you've got other areas in your house that you clean. I know I do. So I have another question. So when you leave the workshop today, do you think you'll be able to kind of take these similar type steps and then apply them to another area of your home or your life? Like, for example, if you want to maybe like use less plastic in the kitchen, like, do you think you can apply these same types of steps? Because today you learned how to choose safer cleaning products, but in order to do this, the same kind of, you know, steps, method kind of, if you want to do the same in other areas of your life and home, and you probably, again, want to avoid exposing your family to harmful chemicals. You want to avoid wondering if you can trust the information, and you want to avoid spending time to try to figure out how to keep your family healthy. But you also want to know what chemicals to be on the lookout for. You want to trust the sources that you rely on, and you want to save time by following like a done for you roadmap and plan to keep your family safe. And if you want all of that, you can either do one of 2 things. You can be like me for the past 6+ years and do this on your own. You can spend what is likely limited time trying to figure it all out while sort of continuing to worry about your family's health, which, eventually will get you where you want to go. I mean, I did it. I'm here, 6 years later, which is you want to be making changes and choices that are healthier for your family and the planet. Or you could too just start making choices that keep your family and the planet healthy today. You could feel confident that you have a plan to work on that will help you improve other areas of your home and your lifestyle. And you can stop guessing and worrying and make informed choices that are better for your family. So you can fast forward and start making, slowly, not all at once, because that's not the point either. I tried that too, but start slowly making healthier choices. And so that's option 2, not to be like me over the last 6 years, but to be like me now. And so I'm taking what I have kind of learned over the last 6+ years about what to do and how to do it and what fits and makes sense and is easy, and what I continue to learn to do. And I'm compiling it and organizing it and streamlining it all in one place to share with other moms. And for the moment, I am calling it the Greenily Guide. And Greenily is the name of my blog. And so it is a one-stop resource of reliable information for busy moms like you who want to make choices that are healthy and safe for your family and the planet. And the content and the information is organized around like your everyday life. So you can get information about how to reduce toxins and go green in like either a specific room like a bathroom, or by like routine, like your kitchen cleanup routine, or grocery shopping, or typical routines that many of us have. So to dive a little bit deeper and sort of share a little bit more about the Greenily guide, it is an online resource, library, catalog, membership, kind of all of those things where you can choose from a variety of formats to learn the content in. Like it could be a mini course, a downloadable guide, live workshops, and plus, because I love trying out new eco-friendly, non-toxic, healthier products myself, to see if they actually work, because it has to also work. That's kind of the other criteria. And so I've got product recommendations as well, so you don't have to guess what's safe but also effective. So there's a couple different ways to learn and to get information. The mini courses are going to take you through the steps to make over like one complete routine or room from start to finish. So, you can feel confident and feel accomplished, like you're really protecting your family's health and the planet. Like you've kind of checked off that big box and you got that routine squared away, that room squared away. And, you can then start to focus on another part of your lifestyle. So again, it's slow, they're at your own pace. And so it's really, as much or as little as you want to take on at a time. Okay, and so the downloads are, sometimes it's nice to have something on paper. I'm old enough where I grew up with paper. And so having things printed out is sometimes easier to kind of keep track of and make progress or share with your family. The Jumpstart Guide is a great resource to use with your family, with some easy kind of activities to help. You have to get your other family members on board as well with this, which is sometimes hard. Sometimes you get eye rolls, sometimes moaning from teenagers especially, but in any case, sometimes having a paper handout is nice, but these are downloadable guides for you. So that's another way you can learn. And then, of course, there are bonuses, including live calls and workshops that will be sort of monthly focused by topic, so that it's kind of not all over the place. And depending on, the membership and the members, that couldn't change up, we'll see. I do have a private Facebook group where you'll be able to talk to other members. I do have 2 other go-to lists of safe cleaners. I have bathroom and laundry already, created the same way as the kitchen. And then one of the really, really cool bonuses is that because this is a new resource, you would be like our beta members, test members, and so you can help decide what content to add and honestly what format works best. Maybe it's not a mini course with videos, maybe it's an audio version that you can just listen to get the information. So that's one of the really cool bonuses, is that you get to help decide how this is built and how things get added to it. And it is, of course, a monthly membership, but as a special price for founding members or beta members, whatever you want to call them. That's what you are for watching this workshop today. Your price is just $7 a month for all of those resources, plus many, many more to come. So just $7 now. The regular member price is going to be $37 a month to start, and will likely go up as more and more resources are added. So because it's monthly, of course, you can cancel at any time. So there really is basically little to no risk to checking it out. So anyway, so that is the Greenily guide and the 3 steps to choosing safer cleaning products for your family and the planet. So I really hope that was helpful for you and gives you a great kind of starting place for, going down that path of kind of making choices and changes to your family's life without changing your lifestyle. And if you have any questions about anything I talked about today, any questions about the Greenily guide, you can certainly send me an email or just respond to one of the emails you get or that you have gotten regarding today's workshop. So that is it. Again, thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, take care. Bye.